The Qatar 2022 World Cup is no exception. Despite being the smallest nation ever to host the football tournament, they've gone all out, creating 8 breathtaking stadiums, the envy of the world. All the stadiums are powered by solar panel farms, and given Qatar's scorching climate, their cooling systems have been meticulously designed. After all, fainting football superstars did not make the best headlines. In fact, Qatar's dedication to sound environmental practices earned all the stadiums 4 or 5 stars from the Global Sustainability Assessment System, the Bayt Stadium, located about 35 kilometers away from the Qatar capital of Doha. It can hold 63,000 people. It's the second biggest of all the stadiums built, and indeed, it towers over the surrounding landscape. After winning its bid to host the World Cup in 2010, Qatar set about building their vision. In 2015, they awarded Dar Al Handasa, a Lebanese construction company, the contract to design and build the stadium. Janoub Stadium was designed by the renowned British-Iraqi architect Zaha Hadid, famous for the London Olympics Aquatic Center and Beijing Daxing Airport. Sadly, Hadid died in 2016 and never witnessed the stunning postmodern and neo-futurist design she conceived. It wasn't merely a futuristic vision, however. The swooping, frilled curves are meant to mirror the sails of traditional dhow boats used by pearl divers to weave through the tumultuous currents of the Persian Gulf. It's not hard to see the similarity. In fact, the curvilinear roof gives spectators the feeling of being on a ship, and the bowed beams holding up the roof also resemble a ship's hull. It's a beautiful nod to the seafaring history of Al Waqra, the city where the stadium is located. It also features a retractable roof and complex cooling system capable of reducing the inner temperature to as low as 18 degrees. Like all major developments, the 40,000-seater stadium was conceived as part of a wider project. As the architects explained, the stadium was designed in conjunction with a new precinct so that it sits at the heart of an urban extension of the city, creating community-based activities in and around the stadium on non-event days. Thumama Stadium is perhaps the most Arabic in its aesthetic. Named after a native tree, its design is based on the traditional gafia, a woven hat popular amongst Arabic men. It's an unusual design choice for a football stadium. Still, it certainly strikes a bold and elegant image on the Qatari skyline. In fact, so inspiring is the design that it was awarded the MIPIM Architectural Review Future Project Award in the Sports and Stadiums category in France. Located in Al Thumama, a district of Doha, the stadium is just 12 kilometers south of the city center. The glistening stadium is therefore planned to be at the heart of the tournament, featuring 8 games including a quarterfinal. The Education City Stadium isn't the most romantically named of the 8. Nevertheless, this 40,000-seater arena located in Education City, 7 kilometers south of Doha, has earned the nickname the Diamond in the Desert. A single glance tells you why. Designed by Fenwick Iribarren and Pattern Design, the building has a facade composed of a myriad of diamond shapes, giving the overall structure its jewel-like appearance. Indeed, these diamond patterns appear to shimmer and change color as the sun moves across the sky. Despite being the jewel in the crown of the Qatar World Cup ambitions, it's also among the most environmentally sustainable stadiums in the world, receiving a 5-star GSAS rating. Qatar's premier stadium is rightfully known as the National Stadium, named after Khalifa bin Hamad Al Thani, Qatar's former emir. It sits within a truly vast complex of sports centers, shops, and restaurants. The stadium first opened in 1976 and hosted the 1992 Gulf Cup, in which Qatar won for the first time. For the 2006 Asian Games, the stadium's capacity was increased from 20,000 to 40,000 seats, and a roof was added to cover the western side. With such an illustrious history, the Khalifa is the only World Cup stadium not being partially or fully dismantled afterwards. The biggest and boldest of Qatar's new stadiums is the humbly named Lusail Iconic Stadium. It will be the flagship stadium for the tournament, hosting 10 games, including the final. It's pure opulence in its design. Designed by the renowned British architectural firm Foster & Partners, the stadium's design pays homage to the Fanar lantern and traditional handcrafted bowls and vessels used throughout the Middle East. It's envisioned as a dance of light and shadows, with the intense Qatari sun bouncing off the golden panels. It's just not golden panels. Solar panels also power the building, with the entire structure having a zero carbon footprint. But such ambition comes with a sizable price tag. It reportedly cost $767 million, with construction being delayed a year. With a total capacity of 80,000, it's by far the biggest stadium of the 8. 974. The most impressive stadium isn't the biggest, however. Stadium 974, formerly Rasba Aboud Stadium, is a 40,000-seater arena unlike anything anywhere on the planet. In fact, despite opening in November 2021, the stadium won't exist in a few years. That's right. After the World Cup ends, the entire structure is planned to be dismantled. Indeed, from its conception, the whole stadium was built with impermanence in mind. Its name, which pays homage to Qatar's international dialing code, is also an element of its design. Constructed from 974 recycled shipping containers and modular steel, the extraordinary stadium is a blueprint for future tournament hosts worried about being stuck with an expensive stadium they can't fill. It's the first temporary venue in FIFA World Cup history. Its inventive design uses containers for bathrooms and concessions, as well as the stadium's outer wall. Despite this cobbled-together approach, the waterfront area is uniquely beautiful, maintaining the grandeur of traditional stadiums but with a modern eco-spin. It received a 4-star sustainability rating from the GSAS. Nor are the Qataris wasting their efforts. The stadium was tested on the 2021 FIFA Arab Cup's opening day and is planned to host 7 matches during the 2022 World Cup, up to the last 16. It's unknown exactly how much the temporary structure cost to build, though the site will become a waterfront development after being deconstructed. The shipping containers, modular steel, and seats will be provided as assistance to underdeveloped countries worldwide. You bet it won't be the last temporary stadium to feature in a World Cup, but it will be the benchmark by which all others are measured. But what do you think? Has Qatar exceeded expectation by producing the greatest football stadiums in the world? Or are they yet more monumental structures that will fail to live up to the hype?